I've never seen anything like this in the 10 years I've been in the industry.
Just make my life so much easier.
It's a big issue.
In the studio, we have a range of exciting guests from Trackunit, the industry, and partners of Trackunit. And I'm super excited to dive in. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to this series where we're exploring how AI is shaping construction. And I'm Lærke Ullerup. I'm Trackunit's Chief Product and Marketing Officer, and I will be guiding these discussions here as your host. And in the studio, we have a range of exciting guests from Trackunit, the industry, and partners of Trackunit. And today I have the pleasure of having the company of Mikkel Dalgas, who is the CTO of Trackunit, and very excited to be here and discuss the topic around how OEMs in construction use AI.
Hey, great to be here, Lærke, and let's dive into the OEM space.
Yeah, so the OEMs who produce equipment, how could they take advantage of AI in the future?
Yeah, we've actually seen some great early adopter examples. So we're starting to see OEMs leverage AI to make their manuals and their technical expertise more available to their customers. I think as we look into the future, that will accelerate. So AI will help you just really, really quickly get the right spare part to the right customer. Someday you could imagine that happening without human intervention. So you'll have an automated AI, what we call an AI agent, ship the right parts to a customer that has a problem with a machine, or in the ideal world, even before the machine breaks down.
So this is really about strengthening the relationships and boosting the loyalty between the OEM and their end customers. In what ways does this aftermarket journey or delivering services to your customers, how do you see beyond this example here that AI could help drive the OEMs forward?
Let's start a little closer to experiences we've all had online. I think the last few years, we've all tried various, I want to say, classic chat interfaces to help systems. Those been stale and static answers from a manual. AI really offers that much more flexible, meaningful online dialogue, so that when you chat with an AI, or soon you talk to an AI in your regular voice in your own language, that AI will know enough about you, will know enough about your exact machine that it can actually give you meaningful response in a much faster way. I think that sort of customer support and customer expertise guidance at scale is a fundamental change, and AI is really going to enable that. It's going to happen quite fast as well.
And what happens when the AI then also has access to all of the equipment data, which is so critical for the industry here, understanding machine faults, data about your machine, and really that deep insight?
I think it's clear that loop is a little bit what I talked about in my opening, right? That loop is, you can start to see it. If you allow the sharing of your data back to the OEM, so the OEM knows and the AI knows exactly what error codes, what history your machine has. When you call to troubleshoot or to get help with a specific type of breakdown, the AI will know exactly what's wrong. It'll know exactly what parts to bring. And yeah, at the end of that journey, we'll see someday there will be an agent shipping that part to you, an AI agent, no humans involved. That's sort of at the large scale. Also want to talk a little bit about AI inside the machine. I actually see part of that algorithm. We talk a lot about large language models today, but there are also small language models, and that's an area of rapid development right now. Apple, of course, have launched in their iPhone 16, right? They've launched AI models that run directly on device. We'll see that happening inside the machines, in the telematics units of the machines. We'll have AI that can help troubleshoot in a very different manner and really understand the health and the situation around the machine.
And for someone who's maybe not an expert in AI, could you try and unpack a large language model and then compare to a small model?
Yeah, large language models are. I mean, when we talk about the sizes of these language models, we talk in billions of parameters, right? So large language models, some of them can actually run on a regular laptop, but many of them require way more than that. They're typically in the 50, 70, 100 billion records. Small languages are about becoming much more specific, focusing on, for instance, understanding the health of a machine. And being small enough that they can run on the embedded hardware of the machine itself. So they're very similar to their large cousins, you could say. They're just optimized to run in a much smaller power envelope and in a smaller compute space.
So it's almost like AI at the edge.
It's absolutely AI at the edge. It's absolutely AI at the edge, and it's going to come in the sort of next generation of hardware that the OEMs are all working on and talking about right now. So here we're maybe 5 years, 2 to 5 years out.
Super exciting when AI now moves into the machine and not just in the cloud. So,
and I just want to add to that, by the way, I'm not talking about fully autonomous machines taking away the control from us humans. I'm more talking about AI assisting us and understanding the world around us and guiding us. So that's more the scenario. I think construction is very far away from fully autonomous construction sites. It's just that type of environment.
Then when we think about, now you talk about building machines and having AI embedded into the machine. In what other ways could we imagine that AI could help an OEM build or design their products?
Yeah, so AI, amazing at the edge, right? And that's definitely one frontier. But something that's there right now is AI assisting with the data and number crunching as the industry is designing the next machine. A lot of manual efforts, a lot of computationally heavy efforts, a lot of efforts relying on plenty of engineers and data scientists really seeing AI coming in and accelerating those efforts, taking cost out, and frankly allowing us as an industry to design better machines. We simply take more parameters into consideration in a shorter period of time.
What are you seeing right now that the most progressive OEMs are doing right now as they start to experiment and bring AI into their business?
So big areas around troubleshooting, service manuals, tech manuals, familiarization, right? All of this, all the literature, all the long-form text, all the video that goes along with a modern machine. Those are areas where AI is very mature and dominant in other industries, right? And we're seeing some OEMs making very smart and early moves here, focusing on the documentation and the long-form text that you have available already and using them to your advantage in an AI space so that you can talk to your manual, or your manual can even, advise you on what to focus on, instruct you how to do a quarterly inspection or a daily health and safety inspection, etc. Really seeing that space move fast forward. And that's where we'll see this, I think, the quickest impact in the field.
So it almost becomes like new services that OEMs offer to their customers to improve the customer experience.
Yeah, it becomes, we've, as an industry and other industries as well, we talked about these digital twins, right? There's this digital mirror image of your machine in the real world, where you can see all the same parameters and you can look at that machine and understand what's going on. When we think about that in the future, I think we should think about a cognitive digital twin. A digital twin that has an opinion and can actually analyze and relate to the data coming in. So we don't just have to look at the digital twin and form our opinions, but the digital twin actually has an understanding of its own health, if you can talk about an AI having an understanding. But it can really analyze and relate to what needs to be done to the machine. And I think that's also something that's going to happen fairly quickly.
And what is the big shift that you see out there that is really driving this trend right now?
it's always about uptime. Eliminating downtime is sort of the founding value and what we drive towards at Trackunit, right? And that goes for the whole industry. For OEMs, I mean, we just want to create better machines, better suited, easier to use, less dangerous, more effective, with less downtime. That's always been the driving parameters. I think what AI gives us are ways to deliver on some of the digital promises where we've been collecting data for years, but we've had a hard time monetizing it. And some, definitely not me, but there is this saying, right, to be data rich but insight poor. And I think that's where a lot of the best OEMs are. And AI really gives an accelerated path to insights out of that data. So that's the biggest shift right now. We can actually put the data we have to good use.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mikkel, for joining here today and talking about OEMs in construction. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and listening to this episode on OEMs in construction.